Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Monday edition of the JP Peterson Show. I am, can you see the sweat stains on this shirt? Nick Geddes, can you see how hard I am working out in this record heat for you people? For you people! Yes. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing. I freaking love football practice. Welcome into the JP Peterson Show. We got tons to get to today from today's Bucs practice. Nick is going to rant on the Rays, and I will join him as well.
Oh,
I forgot to turn the loop on.
Sorry about that.
I will join him on a Rays rant. We got all kinds of cool stuff. We have, I believe we have a Happy Gilmore 2 film review coming up from Nick Geddes. Good morning to you. My compatriot from On 3 Sports. What's up, partner?
Good morning. It feels like it's been, wait, it's not even good morning anymore. It's good afternoon. First time I've been on the show since we switched to 12 to noon. I got to get used to that. So good afternoon. Yeah. Feels like it's been a minute since I've been back on the show. I took a little detour to Boston last week, which I may have a little story or two from that one.
Fenway Park?
Fenway Park. Got to see it.
All right.
Go to it and everything. Have a story for that. But no, I'm glad to be back. We're almost to August, which means football's almost here. But yes, like you mentioned, it is hot as hell outside. Like the
Tampa finally got to 100 yesterday, right?
It got to 100. It felt like it too. So I was not surprised.
Well, I didn't think it was that bad today, TBH. It wasn't horribly, of course I wasn't in pads knocking my heads against Vita Vea. Poor Graham Barton and the boys, Bredesen. Imagine that. Like, gotta go up against this monster every freaking day, in pads now. Good God. And Vita Vea had his moments today. The dude is unblockable. When he's healthy, he is just unblockable. You cannot keep him from collapsing the pocket. And him working with Hassan Reddick and Yaya and Cansey, I hope they all make it to game one healthy, because I could think this is going to be one hell of a pass rush. I really, really do. I'm excited to see it. All right, we got some sound coming up from Amecha Ibuka, who had another incredible day at camp. This dude is he's Chris Godwin. He might be better. He might be better than Godwin. I have never seen a rookie receiver. And we remember how we raved about Jalen McMillan last year as a rookie? Raved. Like, I can't speak enough about Amecha Ibuka. And today you're going to hear from him. And this guy is like an elder statesman. He just so reminds. And Godwin was the same way when he came in as a rookie. Like, he got up there at the podium and was just so polished about everything he does. And you'll hear him talk today about his pursuit of perfection. And I also asked him about championship chemistry, which obviously he knows a little something about from Ohio State. So it's very interesting how good this kid could be. Hard to overstate, to be quite honest, but we're going to overstate it again today. So we'll hear from him. And of course, we got Todd Bowles talking about the David Walker injury and the depth at that position. And I also asked him about something else that I've been harping on, and I'm going to harp on it again today. Does this team need a veteran backup quarterback? I think they do. I think this season is too promising to risk a 4 to 6 game stint without Baker Mayfield, because I just have very little faith in Kyle Trask. The more I watch him, the less I like it. And I said last week that he's improved in his delivery. I think he's throwing with more velocity and more accuracy. But when they go 11 on 11, red zone, he just holds the ball. And that's the difference between an experienced quarterback who knows at the line of scrimmage, can look at the coverage and say, this is where I'm going to go. And if that guy wins first, then I'm going to get it out. Baker did that a couple times today. And that's what seasoned quarterbacks do. Guys that are still learning the game at this speed just don't see it the way the good ones do. And backup quarterbacks, the good ones, are guys who have played in the league and been successful, but are timing out. And from a physical standpoint, the Joe Flaccos of the world. but they've been there. They've won Super Bowls. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who's going to be released. I don't know who's available as training camps go on. But I asked Todd Bowles about it today, and you'll hear his answer. So I think it's a thing. But again, when we're concentrating on backup quarterbacks, that's a good thing. So what are your thoughts on that, Nick?
I mean, this is what, year 5 for Kyle Trask?
Mm-hmm.
Year 5. And we've seen him play little stints of regular season games, nothing too crazy. I would probably say, like, and you obviously are at all these practices and watching, like, do you think he's gotten much, much better in the 5 years he's been here?
No.
Do you think he's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL?
Truth of the matter is, I don't know.
I guess we really don't know, right? I will say this, in the preseason, when he has ample time to play, he doesn't exactly inspire much confidence, does he? Against twos and stuff like that.
I'll say this. If he's not impressive in this preseason, especially early on against the Titans or Pittsburgh, I think, and that's typically when more veteran quarterbacks will become available, I think they make a move, especially with Michael Pratt having this back injury or whatever.
That's the thing. I think they kept Michael Pratt around for a reason, and they spoke highly of him. They like him. And I think that was the point, was they were hoping to have a genuine competition for quarterback 2 behind Baker Mayfield.
He's not ready.
He's not ready, and he's not getting reps, obviously, because of the injury. So there's nothing you can really do about that. I did pull up the free agent quarterbacks right now, and it's, I guess, Carson Wentz is the headliner, if you want to call it that. He's the guy with the most experience. There's CJ Beathard, Tyler Huntley, Jeff Driscoll. You know, those guys have played a lot more football than Kyle Trask. There's no doubt about that. Tyler Huntley actually made a Pro Bowl, if you can believe it, because that's how the Pro Bowl process works. So there are some options out there. Like you said, there's going to be some quarterbacks released around the league, but if anything, they do have to add another quarterback in camp.
Yeah.
Probably sooner rather than later, especially since Pads came on today, because, I mean, having 2 quarterbacks, they only have 2 quarterbacks in camp, right? Is there a third that I'm missing right now? Is it Bazelak?
Bazelak. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not an option.
Who frankly throws a better ball than Trask.
Oh, interesting.
He's a very natural thrower. Trask Trask has got a good arm. He's got a really good arm, but Blaziak's just got a bit. He flicks the ball and he just has a really, really good release. But this roster is too good, I think, to trust to a guy that's never done it before. And again, he might be just like, and that's been Trask's kind of MO. Like when he was at Florida, he wasn't a great practice player, but when he got his opportunity, he shined. Obviously, he was tremendous. And maybe he's just more of a gamer. And there's guys like that. There are, but as
we're a long way removed from the discussion of 2 years ago of, could Kyle Trask be the starter over Baker Mayfield? We are a long way removed from that.
Yeah, that is not a thing. Do we? I can't see. Do we have the Bowles stuff loaded in there? The second Bowles he talks, or one of the Bowles. Yeah, the second one I sent you or posted. Do we have that in there, since we're talking about the quarterback and I asked him about it in that spot? If not, we could do it after the break. No problem.
I'll have to add that one here because I have the 2 about David Walker and then Charlie Heck in here right now.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll add to that. All right, so impressions on day 5, first in pads. I was watching a little bit of individual work where the defensive backs and the receivers go one-on-one. Benjamin Morrison, Tyke Smith both came away with picks. Now, again, some of this stuff you have to take with a grain of salt. And I'm going to put that disclaimer out there, folks. This is practice. Guys are working on things. Interceptions are a lot of those times are shots that these quarterbacks would never take. There are certain things endemic to certain drills that the offense or the defense is going to have some advantage. So just all this, I just have to put out that this is what's happening. I'm your eyes and ears, and this is what we see. And this is my best subjective, very subjective thoughts on what we see. So is it fair to the players? Hell no, it's not. I'll just say that right now. Is it fair to the coaches? Nope. So, but it is what we're seeing. Okay. So take it for what it's worth. It is what it is. Ben Morrison and Tyke Smith, both, I love the way they break on the ball and they make plays. You talk about ball hawks, they make plays. Yaya Diaby was giving Charlie Heck some heck into his pass protection. I thought Charlie Heck held up well today. I think his pass pro is, this is kind of the scouting report coming in. He's going to struggle against super athletic elite pass rushers. If he was good against them, he'd be a starter in this league, right? Kind of what it is. So they're going to have to help him. But I'll tell you what, he's more athletic than I thought, to be quite honest. I think he's at 6'8", 315, 320, whatever he is. He's much more athletic than I thought he was. A couple times he pulled in the run game and looked really natural doing it. And that's something that they ask Wirfs to do a lot. So I think in the run game, he's going to be fine. In pass pro, they're going to need the chip. They're going to have to help him. That's just part of it. And that's, he ain't the Lone Ranger there. With some elite pass rushers in this league, you got to do that. So it is what it is. Coach around it, work around it, make it happen. It's not, it's not the end of the world. These things happen, but you got to be smart about how you deal with it.
I would say, though, I know it's easy to say in hindsight, but do you wish the Bucs would have just paid the $2 million to keep Justin Schooley around because he had been here? And I think after a rough start last year against Detroit, against Aiden Hutchinson, when he had to play, I thought he filled in pretty admirably and did a solid job, was one of the better backup tackles in football last year. And he signed for 1 year, $2 million with Minnesota. The Bucs bring in Charlie Heck. Charlie Heck's not even the player that Justin Schooley is, based on what they've done when they've gotten a chance. I guess you couldn't forecast what was going to happen to Wirfs, perhaps. But
here's my thought on that. And if Schooley was that good, they would have kept him. There's no the idea that they effed up because they didn't match the $2 million. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. I think after they saw Schooley one-on-one against Hendrickson, from then on, he got a lot of help, and they coached around him, and he made him look better. And I think they went out on the open market seeing if they can upgrade, and they think they did with Charlie Heck. We'll see.
Yeah. But even getting a little sample size to see Charlie Heck, they still went out and signed Michael Jordan, who I guess
you had to get some
convert to tackle.
Yeah, you had to get some because Ben Chukuma was the backup. And the other one, Danzy, was hurt. So they had to go get a veteran. They had to. Mike, you need to get another one. Some guys that have played in this league. You can't go into this with Chukuma as your backup left tackle. You just can't. So I think they feel that a Heck is an upgrade, and I think they feel that that they can coach around it and work with it. They got a lot of weapons. Parrish. These two corners, Morrison and Parrish, continue to flash. I'm excited to see what both these guys can do. There was a couple of corner blitzes, and both of them got home multiple times. Something that I think was more against second-team offensive line, to be honest, so don't worry about the Bucs starting offensive line. But these guys are quick. They are quick, and they get to the quarterback in a hurry, and I think you're going to see a lot of that. The run, and you saw 11 on 11 first day of pads. So I want to see what the run game looks like. Run game looks really good. The way this offensive line works, especially within the interior, Graham Barton is better. I asked Vita Vea about that today. Does he feel stronger, heavier? And he said, absolutely. Vita Vea said, I thought Graham had a great rookie year, and you can tell that his technique is getting better. His strength is getting better. His communication is getting better. So, Vita was honest. He said, he really, he's getting better, and he gives me all I can handle. And Vita's the best in the game at that position for my money. So I think Graham Barton having a great camp. JJ Roberts, this safety they have that they brought in as an undrafted free agent that paid him a lot of money. He had a lot of places he could go. This kid just makes plays. If you're looking for a safety that's an undrafted free agent, no one gets more attention than Shiloh Sanders. Roberts is a better player, and it's not close. So I don't think Shiloh is going to make this team. He's certainly not going to make the 53. If it were up to the fans, he would be the starter.
That was crazy.
I don't say that in a derogatory way. I think Shiloh's kicking ass in everything that he's doing. He's just not that great a player, but he gets a lot of attention because he's a social media star, and good for him. And he stayed out again late today. He's out there after we get done with interviews, which is about a half hour, 45 minutes after, with his helmet on. I don't know why he keeps his helmet on. but he's just out there signing autographs, and it's crazy. So good for him. But if you're one of those fans that's like, I can't wait to see Shiloh play, don't hold your breath.
He was not very good at Colorado. Let's just be completely honest.
No. Baker had an uneven day, as did Trask, and I think a lot of it had to do with the ball being wet. It was so humid out there today. The grass is wet from some rain. The ball's wet. I know what Baker arm looks like when he throws a certain passes, and he threw a couple balls over the middle that just wobbled. He doesn't. If a ball is wobbling, that means he can't get a good grip on it. As soon as he threw it, he went back to the towel, grabbed the rosin, tried it. There's just no way you can keep the ball because Graham Barton's going to bend over. His helmet, he's going to sweat on the ball. You're going to grab the ball on that, and if he happens to sweat on the laces, you're not going to have a good grip on the ball, and the ball's going to sail. So we saw that a couple times today. But there was one play to Ibuka in the end zone. They were at the 6 yard line, 11 on 11, 1v1, and they had a 7. I think they sent 7. Linebacker, may have been Servassier, comes open right up the gut, and Baker gets rid of it just in time, and just real quick catches it, throws it to the corner, and there's Ibuka with about a 3 yard separation on the corner. I mean, the dude runs unbelievable route, and he catches that ball with his hands. I mean, it was a perfect throw to the back pylon, about 8 feet high. So he goes up, high points the ball, stretches out, toe taps. I mean,
he's going to be a stud. He's going to be a stud. I feel
6 years in professionalism. This kid.
Yeah,
crazy.
I feel so strongly that he's going to be a stud. I mean, you were talking when we started the show about how impressed we were last year with Jalen McMillan. Keep in mind, Jalen McMillan was a 3rd round talent. Okay, right. At the end of the day, he was a 3rd round talent. We are talking about someone who, if I were to rank players in this draft class going in, I had Ibuka as a top 15 talent, and the Bucs got him at 19. I think they got tremendous value for it with everything that's going on with Chris Godwin, him not being out there. Uncertain if he's going to even be available for week 1. I would say at this point it feels kind of unlikely. I mean, Amecha Ibuka right away is going to get, I think, the share of the snaps in that sort of wide receiver 2 Chris Godwin role to start the season. And thank God for that they have him. And thank God they made that pick, and they were bold enough to make that pick.
And Ibuka, and you'll hear him talk about this today in our second segment. He talked about how Godwin is in his ear constantly, and he's on the sideline. He's asking him questions. So it's just like, and they're not great. I mean, Ibuka is here to take Chris Godwin's job eventually. But Chris Godwin is secure enough to know that he's going to be part of this offense when healthy. But he's also secure enough and is selfless enough to say, we need to win some games before I come back. And also that guy, Tristan Wirfs, is going to be out too. And I don't want to come back and his team being an 0-4 hole. Not that Godwin would ever think about withholding anything. It's just the way he is. That's the chemistry of this team, and he's the leader of it. But it's interesting just to hear the way that Ibuka said that. Trask, I think I mentioned this earlier. It's 11 on 11 goal line, and he's trying to throw it in route. And Merriweather just reads his eyes, picks it off, pick 6. I mean, it's a bad throw, a bad read, a terrible throw, no chance whatsoever. Not good. Ryan Miller, I don't think he's going to make this team. He's going to be on the practice squad, but all the guy does is run great routes and catch footballs, and he shows up every day. Bucky just, he is, you see this and today when they're in pads, the way he reads blocks, especially his interior runs, and you can never tell. It's very tough to tell if there's a tackle happening inside on these runs with, because they're not bringing them to the ground. So it's very tough to tell. But, there'll be there were a couple situations today where, he hits the hole and he's just out the back end. He's just out the back end without getting touched. And you just see it time and time again. He's bigger. I think he's faster. I think he's quicker, and he understands the offense better. You see it every week. Deion Jones had a couple of tackles for loss today. I think we are underestimating, and Walker will be back sooner than later as depth in that inside linebacker. And Servassier shows again, I'd say 2 or 3 times today in the run game. He's coming up, taking on blockers, shedding blockers, something Devin White was never able to do, and getting into the hole and making plays. He is a very technically sound, good linebacker in the run game, and he at times looks like a defensive back covering the pass. I cannot wait to see what this guy looks like on an everyday basis if he can stay healthy. Chris Braswell showed again today. Bowles talked about it. He looks stronger. He looks leaner. I think he's put on more muscle. He's playing with a invigorated enthusiasm and power. He's pushing people around, and he's showing up. And so when Light said this offseason, we expect a huge upgrade for Braswell, and Bowles has said it too, we're starting to see it.
Well, I hope so, because maybe more so than any player now that the David Walker torn ACL news has come out. To me, this is put up or shut up time for Chris Braswell. You were a second round pick. You went to Alabama. You played under, the greatest of all time and Nick Saban, all those things. Last year, flashes here and there, but nothing really to write home about. But now with David Walker being injured, and David Walker, I think, was definitely going to push Braswell for some snaps this year. All of a sudden, Braswell and the old reliable Anthony Nelson continues to, I thought this was the year maybe he was going to be phased out a little bit, but all of a sudden here he is. He
had a great year last year.
Yeah, but you know what he is. He's limited. Yeah. He's limited. But I look at that Bucs pass rushing room, and I just said I need more from Braswell and even Yaya Diaby, who, for everything I see, Yaya's been having a fantastic camp and everything. And if we were counting sacks in training camp, he's racked up a ton and all that. And he gets all the pressures in game time, but I need more than 4 sacks. I need more than 4 sacks from my hopefully, when he's not even the number 1 pass rush anymore. That's hopefully going to be Hassan Reddick, and maybe that helps him. But that pass rushing room, you kind of look at it without David Walker, they were not simply good. They simply were not good enough last year. And with David Walker going down, it's like the same room plus Hassan Reddick. So Reddick, Braswell, Yaya Diaby, there's a lot that's going to be on their plate this year to get the job done, because last year we saw that they just simply were not good enough.
Well, listen, we went into the offseason, said edge rush, edge rush, edge rush. We wanted that to be the first round pick. It was Ibuka, but we're seeing now that's a great pick. It's a great pick. And, but second round, third round, fourth round, we wait till the 4th round to get David Walker. Okay. You tell me he's special. Showed up, looks a little special. Now he's out.
But now I don't like this for David Walker's career, because this is Central Arkansas. You're already making a huge jump from Central Arkansas to the NFL and having to learn what you can win with, because what he was winning with at Central Arkansas, I don't think you can get by with that in the NFL. And now he's going to miss an entire year. And when he comes back next year, there's no guarantee that he's going to be ready to roll by next training camp. And he's still going to have to get, yes, but you could always have setbacks and stuff. Like Suo Opeta is a good example of that, who Todd said today has had a setback. And then you got to get comfortable with that knee again. And then, by the way, you still have to learn how you can win in the NFL. So all of a sudden, the David Walker pick is just, it's not great. It's nothing the Bucs could do, or he could do.
We're a Reddick injury away from this, to your point, we're a Reddick injury away from the same room.
It's the same room.
Not good enough.
It's the same room.
Not good enough.
Guys like Marquise Watts, who I don't think was going to make this team, all of a sudden he's probably going to make this team. And him and Jose Ramirez have been these camp preseason darlings the last couple years. And if they're going to get playing time, they got to show something. I mean, either way, the room's got to be better, because that is the most important position on the field on defense.
Braswell makes your room better. His improvement, I think that's a thing. Reddick makes a room infinitely better, but he's got to be healthy, and he's not a spring chicken. I still expect great things from him. But again, if we get one more here, now we're starting getting into territory where you can't go deep if you don't have an edge rush. Simple as that. All right, let's hit the Rays real quick here. For some of you guys, you need to get in and get out for the first segment, because a second segment, I'm coming to you guys for your comments. Then we're going to go to our sound from today, which I think is really good. So we got lots more Bucs coming your way, but let's take about 5 minutes here to bury the Rays. It's just, I watched probably far too much baseball this weekend. And I've said this all year long. When everybody's healthy, right? the lineup is pretty good. It's got a great mix of contact guys, speed, and power. It's got a really well. When one guy goes down, and that guy has been Brandon Lau, suddenly it's really thin, and you can start pitching around Caminero. And when Caminero and Josh Lowe is just not the guy. It's 23 seems to be the outlier now on Josh Lowe.
Yep.
So now this lineup is like, so Brandon's down. Josh Lowe is nowhere to be found in his power stroke. So now what is in your lineup? What do you got? Aranda's, he's not a power guy. He's a power guy.
He's going through his first sort of scuffle of the season too.
Yeah. And why? Because he's not seeing as many good pitches as he was before. This is why it's critical that we have to get some depth to this lineup. And when you look at the power in the outfield, it's non-existent. I think, what do we have? 10 home runs total of 4 outfielders? I don't know the exact number. It ain't enough. Morel is a pair of shoes. I don't know why we're still doing this.
Christopher Morel has 2 hits and 27 at-bats in the month of July.
And I'll say this. He's hit a lot of balls hard that have turned into outs, but I'm done with that.
I'm out. I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah. It's every game he plays, we lose. He starts, we lose.
They had him in a 2-hole in one of these games. Did they not?
2-hole.
A 2-hole.
2. What?
I mean,
what?
I understand they don't have many answers right now.
I think it was because Chandler Simpson hopefully gets on base and no one will dare throw a curveball while he's on base, and that will get Morel to hit a fastball and maybe he can run into one. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, because him in the 2-hole is a freaking joke. I mean, what are we doing? So, and talk about being able to pitch around guys. I mean, my God. So this offense becomes really thin when Brandon Lau is down, and that's always just a matter of time, right? It's just a matter of time.
Every year.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're sellers. You're sellers right now, but don't give away the farm. Don't give away good young players. Go out and get some more good young players.
I'm so bothered by this team right now. I really am. I'm fed up with it. They entered July. This is crazy. They came into July with a 85% chance of making the playoffs. They are about to exit July with less than a 15% chance of making the playoffs. All that work they did, they were 20-26 when they decided to turn things around, if you recall. They got themselves 11 games over 500. They were a game out from the New York Yankees for first place. For first place in the AL East. They're now like 11 games out. So the division is gone. The wild card, all the teams around them, Boston's playing well. Toronto can't lose baseball games right now. The Rangers are streaking. The Mariners are there. The Rays are not as good as those teams anymore. The starting pitching, nobody's putting together. Nobody in the starting rotation has their best stuff. They're grinding through outings. The bullpen is absolutely dreadful and doesn't seem like it's getting much better at all. We sit here today and Kevin Kelly is still on the major league roster, and there's no reason for it. Eric Orsi is just chilling in the minor leagues.
Ridiculous.
I don't understand why. It's ridiculous. The lineup has gone cold, and I'm really bothered by the fact that Eric Neander, the GM of this baseball team, he went on T. Crass's show last week, I believe, and he was talking about the deadline. And he goes on record, and this is prior to the White Sox series. He goes on record and is like, yeah, a lot of what we do, how we're going to manage this is going to depend on how we play this week, And you would think that the players, this would go, all right, time for us to snap out of this funk that we've been in. We're playing the Chicago White Sox at home, the dead Chicago White Sox. And then obviously we got to go play 3 against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a good team. I get it, but they're not a great team. Okay. And non-competitive baseball. And even worse than that, doesn't the body language just suck right now? It sucks. And it doesn't go to the
5 runs
players.
on the weekend. Jesus.
It doesn't just stick to the players. Kevin Cash looks like he is checked out mentally. He's just not there. I mean, the Rays are getting hosed by umpires left and right all week. Kevin Cash, get your ass out there. Cause a scene. Do something.
Throw a chair.
Throw a chair. Somebody needs to throw a chair. Rub some dirt on the umpire's foot. I don't care. I mean, show some emotion. But he just sits there and he looks checked out. The bullpen management, it's like he's punting games with some of these decisions to go to Kevin Kelly again on Friday night against the Reds or Saturday night, whatever it was. I'm losing track of it.
Unfreaking believable.
Yeah, you're punting games.
And then freaking what's his face gets hurt. He gets a calf injury. Baker gets a calf injury. He's pitched 4 innings and give up 4 earned runs. I mean, it can't get it. And then a bloop single scores 2. Friday night was a disaster. Friday night was an absolute disaster.
Yeah,
between
Friday and Saturday were horrible. And then
putting Kelly in, Jesus Christ, we saw that last week. You just gave away a game to the White Sox, and then you give away another game. The guy's got 1 freaking pitch, and it sucks.
It's not effective. He's got nothing.
And you keep putting him in. Like, what the are we doing?
I don't know. This has been a bizarre. This has been going on all year long. This has been a bizarrely managed.
Do you think Stu is so pissed that Major League Baseball? I think they've invoked the best interest in baseball clause on him. I think they've completely taken over the team because so much that I don't know that for a fact. I've heard it whispered by some people who might know and won't say it for fact. But I think it's everything tells me he hasn't said a word about anything, hasn't been on the broadcast. He's been completely stifled, which happens when they invoke the best interest of baseball clause. I think he's pissed about having to sell the team to this group for as much as, and I don't know what he's telling Cash to do, but maybe he's telling Cash to throw games. I don't know. I have no idea. Or he's telling him, I want this, I want that. He's telling Neander this and that, and everybody knows it's completely effed up. Listen, I had a conversation today with on the way into work. I don't want to say too much about it, but listen, I've covered teams where stuff like this happens, where ownership knows what's going on or has an idea there's something really bad going on, and nobody's allowed to talk about it. Nobody can say anything about it. You just act like you're going about your business, but something behind the scenes is effing everything up and everybody knows it. And I think it has to do with ownership. Kevin Cash is not this stupid. He's not this stupid. I think he's being told to do certain things, like keep putting Kevin Kelly. Oh, he'll come out of it. He'll come out of it. Keep throwing him out there. Keep throwing him out there. I honestly believe that. And if he keeps doing this, Lord knows what maybe Neander and Cash will be wind up in Washington pretty damn soon. And I don't think it's beyond Stu to burn everything down on the way out that he possibly can. Of course. Why wouldn't he? That's been his MO for his entire ownership. He don't give a rat's ass about anybody. Doesn't give a rat's ass about to St. Pete or Tampa or the people of this community. Why wouldn't he? That'd be completely on brand for him to do everything he possibly could on the way out to F this team moving forward. I don't have any proof of that. I don't have any evidence of it directly, except what I see on the field. I don't think Kevin Cash is this dumb. I don't think he is. That's my proof.
I don't know. It's been bizarre.
Not right.
It's been really bizarre. Something is not right. Something is not right, but all I know is it's clear
Morel
at this
in the
point.
2-hole? Are you effing kidding me?
Yeah, it's clear to me at this point, and I knew it right after the White Sox series. I didn't even need to see what happened in Cincinnati, and then you got swept, and it made it even more clear. Like, you're sellers, and if your name's not Junior Caminero, if your name's not Ryan Pepio, and honestly, I don't even want to trade Yandy Diaz either. I really don't, because he's been really great, and he's on an affordable contract for next year. I don't want to trade him. But just about everybody else, I'm listening. And by the way, when you make these trades, if you make these trades, don't give me prospects. The Rays got enough prospects. In fact,
we do.
You got so many prospects that there are prospects who are blocked in the minor leagues right now.
That's right.
I don't need to continue doing that. I want major league ready talent, and I need to turn the page to 2026 and how I can best compete then. And I got to figure out next year where Taylor Walls is not having to play every single day, who, by the way, didn't look so hot in the field, did he? This past weekend against Cincinnati.
He booted a ball Friday night that cost him the game.
Right. Yeah.
Was it Friday or Saturday? I forget.
They're all blending together because they're horrible, boring performances.
How the hell does he boot a ball?
Again, and he's not making those plays, and I understand he hit his little home run yesterday, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure that just bought him another year. Doing anything for you now, is he?
Yeah, it's freaking brutal. I don't know if your Wi-Fi might be going out there a little bit. Alex S. said, took the trip to Cincy this weekend with my brother. Horrible weekend to take the yearly road trip. The Rays look completely lost. And then he adds this, showed up at the park on Saturday, and we saw Morel in the 2-hole. We almost turned around and left. The dude takes a road trip to Cincinnati, and he almost turned around and left.
And making matters worse.
If they know it, does Kevin Cash not know it?
Making matters worse, Randy Arozarena has hit 10 home runs in July. It's just rubbing salt into the wound. 10 home runs for Randy in July.
All right, we got to take a break. And when we come back, I'm going to get to all of your comments. Great stuff. We got some really good questions. I want to get to all of it when we come back. We got some great sound from Amecha Ibuka. We got some stuff from Bowles that you got to hear. Lots more Bucs coming your way. We'll do the Rays stuff and whatever you guys want to talk about. We got some college football notes to get to as well. We are brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They're local, they are trusted, and they get results. They'll give you a free case evaluation. Just give them a call or email them at jeeveslawgroup.com. Not a part attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. And our first hour is always brought to you by On-Site Construction and Restoration. The website is onsiteconstructionfl.com. Very important, folks. If you're still looking for a insurance settlement or using that appraisal from about a year ago is about how long appraisals last. You got to get it done now if you're looking to do new construction. On-Site Construction and Restoration. They're the folks to do it. OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Back in 3. Stay with us.
Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at on-site construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we roll on from our new digs here at Kingmakers. Yes, love the new digs. I finished with it again, but I got my golf in here right on the other side. Lots to tell you about Kingmakers as we move through the next couple of weeks. Also, Riveters, we're going to do a watch party on Friday night, kids. Going out to Riveters for happy hour from 5 to 7 o'clock. Then we're going to watch the Rays and the Dodgers. So if you can't get tickets or they're too much, and they are too much, have you seen the prices for the Dodgers series, Nick?
Oh, yes, I have.
What, 180? I think it's the cheapest
pushing
ticket.
Like 160 just to get in.
Yeah. That's great, though. That's great to see. Love that. But so come see us at Riveters. We'll be right there. We might even be able to hear the cheers from the Stein. And, of course, we'll enjoy all the great food and the happy hour prices. So we'll be doing those $3 domestics, $5 wells. Was there the other night, had the chicken dip. First time having the chili, the Warhawk chili. Excellent. If you're a chili fan, love the Warhawk. The loaded potato soup, too. Oh, so good. All of it, so good at Riveter. So come join us for a Rays watch party on Friday night from 5 to 7, and then we're going to stay and watch the game as well. So if you're heading on over to the Rays game, you got tickets, come join us first, pregame, then head on over, and then we'll be there when you get back because we'll be watching the game there. Hopefully we start playing some better baseball, for God's sakes. All right, let's get to your comments. When we get, then we'll get to some of the interviews. Kenneth McClary says, second thing, it really sucks when David Walker is going to miss his first NFL season. I know. And yes, we can turn out the lights on the Rays, stick a fork in them. You're right. Adam or Yeezy says, thanks for getting us to football season. Good job, Rays. You had one job.
We lasted a little longer this year than we did last year, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
A little bit.
Yeah. JS says, hey, long-time listener, first time jumping on the live. Thank you, JS. We appreciate you. Welcome to the show. Let us know your thoughts. Good morning to you, Nathan Elliott. Abraham Vaticancherry. Hope a veteran FA outside linebacker DN can be signed. I don't know if there's – I think right now we're okay because Braswell should be better. Reddick obviously is the huge addition. Anybody goes down after that, I think we're in –
I was going to say, it doesn't seem like it's in their MO. Jason likes MO to add a veteran at that position this close to the season, but just for giggles, I guess, Matt Judon is out there, Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith, Jadeveon Clowney, DeMarcus Walker. Those are some of the names out there, but you know what you're getting with those players. Nothing is going to, they're not going to come in and you're going to be like, oh, hey, 10 sacks. That ain't happening.
Nope. I mean, if Reddick goes down, panic time.
That's a different story.
Then I'm panicking. JS is regarding the disastrous Morrell situation. Randy's having a great season in Seattle. What could have been? Thanks for joining us.
I know I mentioned it.
And then brings us that, JS. You're killing me.
I know I mentioned it, by the way, that he's hit 10 home runs, but I did see like a lot of people on Twitter talking about that with Randy and saying like, "Oh, remember when the Rays had that volatile locker room?" And we all were like, and I don't know. They weren't exactly winning games though with that. Remember?
No.
Like we can't, just because Randy's performing now at Seattle, we can't act like Randy was performing up to his standard after the 2023 midway point. Like he was.
There was friction with Yandy. There just was.
Right.
This is what it is.
This is what it is.
Douglas Batista says Manny Rodriguez with his 2.08 ERA last pitch on June 9th. On Saturday, 47 days after his last outing, the Rays announced he's having surgery. Tommy John. Again, this is always what happens with the Rays, right? I mean, how often do we hear this? And now I know there's some situations where you don't know how bad the tear is. You might be able to, rehab it. Swelling. Remember the swelling? Well, who was that had swelling for like 8 months? We don't know yet. It's like you can never trust the Rays, and I don't know why they do that. But you can never trust their medical staff. Anything they say, you just don't know. You have no idea. And maybe they just don't know. Maybe they're just that bad. I hope the new ownership scraps whatever they're doing from a medical standpoint, get a whole new medical team, in my opinion. This group either doesn't know what they're doing or it's always terrible messaging. I don't like it. Douglas says, did Stu hire Biden's out of work medical staff on the cheap for this year? I think you might. Yeah, so let's ask them questions. They'll all take the fifth. Kenneth McClary says, my review of Happy Gilmore 2 is entertaining, but not as good as the first. Nick, your thoughts? You saw it this week. I'm going to watch it tonight, maybe.
It's not the first. The second is never the first in anything. This movie, the first one came out 30 years ago also. It's been a 30-year time frame. It feels like it's so hard to make comedies nowadays too. Like they just never really match up. But I would say there's a lot of people that were like going on Twitter and like, really disappointed with the movie and thought it was like the worst movie of all time. If you go in expecting it to be The Godfather or Oppenheimer or insert any great film over the last however many years that's well produced and is going to be winning, Oscar awards or whatever they're called, you're going to be disappointed. But we're talking about
Adam Sandler, people, don't forget.
Talking about an Adam Sandler straight to Netflix special here. Okay, we're not looking for some great production. We're looking for nostalgia. We're tapping into nostalgia. The show does do that. There's cameos all over the place, and not to spoil anything too much. I don't know what the spoil rules are, how long after it comes out or whatever. But Bad Bunny is actually tremendous in the movie. He's hilarious.
Who?
And Bad Bunny.
Okay.
Bad Bunny is actually tremendous in the movie. I think Travis Kelce plays his role in the movie. And Scotty Scheffler, for me, was the best part of the movie, which was the most suspected thing. I will say this, actually. I don't think this is spoiling too much, but I'm going to say it here, actually. But there's a part that I think people will enjoy where he's getting arrested in the movie. And the cops are coming up to him, and he goes, "Oh, no, not again." And they start like reading him his rights or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I know how it goes. Like, and then he like is like in a jail cell for a long time, and like he refuses to leave, and he's like asking like, what's for dinner tonight? And when they sell him chicken tenders, he's like, I'll stay another night. Like there's some funny moments with Scotty Scheffler in there that actually make it cool. So it's a fun film. It's a car wreck. Don't go into it thinking it's going to be some serious production and you'll have a good time with it. But it's not the first one, but nothing it ever will be.
Exactly. It's tough to make a sequel like this. It's like Caddyshack and Caddyshack 2. Nah, not working.
Right.
Denver Harden says, I personally think Trask is good. He played as well as Baker that first preseason. He just hasn't had a chance. I don't know. He did. It was a bit of a competition, but I don't think it was ever really a competition. And he did have some moments. And I remember saying on the show, I think Trask is playing well. But I think he's almost regressed since then. It's like, I didn't win it, and I'm just never
He's plateaued or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't. And I think, and I asked about Bowles about this in the OTAs as well. And you'll hear what I asked today coming up in the next segment. But, he said that Trask has to do some stuff. He needs to show me some stuff in preseason. So these games are going to be big. The games and the joint workouts with the Titans and the Steelers are going to be big for Trask. I predict. Flash Gordon says, I'm hearing D-Day, secondary and D-line pass rush today. Yep, I would say that. I think the quarterbacks I don't think they could get a grip on the ball. There were guys open, but the D has been good, and this is good. If the D continues to not dominate, but have the edge in practice, that's a good thing for the Bucs because we know this offense is going to be good. We've seen them do it. It's the same guys, different coordinator, but I think the offense will be better. I think they should be better this year when Tristan comes back and Godwin comes back. So the defense is the thing. And the fact that they're playing so well is a good thing. Flash says not much on linebackers, but we know who they are. No, I think there is something on linebackers, and it's Servassier Dennis. He has been fantastic in this camp, shows me something every single day. Jeremy Lau says, I'm liking how Morrison is rotating with Dean on first-team reps. Yeah, you can't make a lot out of that because, they want him to get first-team reps to see how he goes against the better players. So I still think Dean is entrenched as the starter, but it does give them a read on how good Morrison can be, and it does push Dean.
Short leash on Jamel Dean personally for me this year. Short leash.
I think that's good. Flash says, got to give it time, but Yaya has been way ahead of Heck right now. Yeah, I think Flash is at a lot of these practices. You're right. You're 100% right. But again, you hear Bowles talk about Heck here in just a second. Cody says 10 a.m. show is a better time slot. Allows people like me to rewatch later in the day. Either way, great show. Thank Cody. Appreciate that feedback. We are still Tim put up a poll last week, and I think noon to 2 is barely edging it out. That won't be the sole decision, but give us more feedback. What do you guys like? 10 to noon or noon to 2 or 11 to 1 is also out there. But those are the three. Amore Right Rudder says Bucs are one of 4 teams to get an F on strength and conditioning. That is a red flag with any of these injuries. Is that? I don't put much stock into that questionnaire, to be honest, because it's mostly the people that are motivated to fill it out want to bitch about something. So I'm just going to go on what I see from my eyes and ears, what I hear, and what people's actions are. Nobody leaves this place. The players don't ever leave, and they take less money to stay here. So I don't think it's that bad. I think it's overstated.
I don't know if this is classifies as strength and conditioning necessary, but even handling Desmond Watson right now, they're not being reckless and putting him out there on the field in this extreme heat because let's just be honest, that's a safety issue. It really is for his weight. And right now it looks like he's literally just walking around with the vest on and everything. So I don't think it's a big issue. Like you said, the questionnaire is the questionnaire. Not everybody fills it out. People have sour grapes all the time. It is what it is, but I don't think you have to worry about that.
People making millions of dollars bitching about not getting free childcare. I'm throwing it out right there. Sorry. I don't care if some teams do and some teams don't. If you're bitching about not getting free childcare for the day because you can't afford $100 or whatever it is, sorry. Go bitch somewhere else. Yeezy says Schooley left because he's going to start for 4 games at Minnesota. Nothing to do with money. Yeah, I don't. If he was that good, they would have kept him here. I'm just not buying it. JJ Roberts is a nickelback slot corner candidate, says Abraham Vatican Cherry, who's at the practices. I like the kid. I think he's going to make this team over Shiloh Sanders. Yes, welcome to the party, JS. I love when you guys have camaraderie. Nathan Elliott says Shiloh has worked the fan base, the crowd, and the media. I'm not holding my breath. Don't do it. Flash Gordon says, I knew about JJ Roberts, but from what I'm hearing, he's exceeding my expectations. Really, for some strange reason, I've tried to lower my expectations on this guy. Safety's an interesting position because a lot of great safeties aren't necessarily great athletes. It's more about instincts and reading body language, reading quarterbacks, knowing your assignments. You can be a really good safety this league and not be a superstar athlete. I think we've seen that from a lot of different guys. I don't think Antoine Winfield Jr. is an elite athlete. He's 5'10", 205 pounds, right? He's
really smart,
but he's got the most unbelievable instincts. He's quick to the ball. He's incredibly smart, and that matters. So and I think as a backup guy who can fill in a lot of different spots, I think he's going to make the team, and I think he's going to be really good on special teams as well.
Well, it'll depend what they do, like with the roster crunch back there. But for not for nothing, obviously you have Winfield, and I guess we're still doing the Tyke, starting next to Winfield at safety, which we'll see. But Bowles, I guess. That? Well, I thought we all were kind of like a little hesitant moving Tyke Smith away from slot corner, a position that is really tough to find a good one. I know they believe in Parrish and everything, but it is what it is. I'm not going to harp on it because that's what they're doing.
No, look, we moved Winfield, and that was a bad move.
Right. So I have
just another bad move.
We'll see. But not for nothing today. I mean, Bowles. I mean, when have you seen Todd Bowles at this point in camp just go right off the record and say, yeah, Chris Izzian, he's going to make this football team. He's already made this football team. Now, did I think Izzian was going to make the football team? Of course, I did. He's been in the system for a while, blah, 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 versatility. But, he was propping him up pretty big time today. So Izzian's going to play a role back there. And then I know they love Merriweather. So it might come down to Merriweather or Roberts for that last roster spot, if I had to guess.
Yeah. And Shiloh's on the very outside looking in, hoping for an injury. Not really, but you understand. That's the only way he makes a team. Flash says, I think Sterling knows he's going to start the season on the practice squad. Sterling Shepard, I like him. I mean, he's really having a good camp. I thought he would kind of come in, being the older guy, kind of look at the numbers and just go, whatevs. He's not. He's competing and competing hard. And I like to see that. Flash says, Braswell's a guy I've kept an eye on. I noticed that he started clicking with the last 3 or so games. I don't know. Last year was a lost year for him, but that happens, even to Rondé Barber. But he's definitely showing out. Michael LaRue, good morning to you. Said observations from Bucs camp. Bakers has a really strong arm. He does. Trask is okay. He checked it down a lot and ran it on 3rd and 13. I know. Why are you running it on 3rd and 13 in practice? Number 8 doesn't have an NFL arm. You're right on all that, Michael. I agree. That's the thing about Trask. He just doesn't make quick decisions. He doesn't process fast enough, and he's constantly pulling the ball down and throwing interceptions. I mean, there's nothing.
He's just really clunky. It's just everything about what he does. It's a clunky operation.
It's the reason why they like Pratt. They want him to come back, but I don't think there's any question they got to sign a guy, an experienced arm at this point. What else? Kenneth McClary says you don't pitch around Morrell, you throw through Morrell in that big in his back. Yeah, he's just awful. I mean, what organization keeps trotting that guy out there? If you're serious about winning, and these are you're getting to crunch time, we're going to be out of this thing. And you're right before how this team plays, to your point, Nick Neander says, and you're putting Morrell in the 2-hole. Seriously? And what does that do to the other players? When we sent Simpson down, the other players are like, what are we doing? We're keeping Morrell and Simpson's going down? You don't think that conversation's not had?
I just cannot for the life of me believe he has lasted this long. And like I said, if they're so worried about him going somewhere else and lighting it up, let another team figure that out. I mean, he has been, I'm trying to think if there's been a more dreadful player that I recall, given some of the hype that he came in with, than I've seen with Christopher Morrell and a Rays. I'm trying to figure out if there has been a more dreadful player.
One of the worst trades in Rays history at this point.
I can't figure it out. Again, since he's been a Ray, he's hitting 201? 201 with 10 home runs in 396 games. Is that what we were expecting for Christopher Morrell?
How many home runs does Paredes have?
More than that.
Well, and I don't know the whole third base thing with Junior. I get it. You could figure it out between DH, first base, third base. You could figure it out.
No, you trade Paredes. It's whatever. It's just the return sucked. The return sucked. There's all.
And why did the return suck? Because Neander was handcuffed. You can't add significant salary. Go find me a power hitting outfielder we have control over for the next few years. Okay. Morrell hit 23 home runs at one point, but I don't know.
Just in general, the outfield situation, take Chandler Simpson aside, Jake Mangum's been a nice story. Ideally, Jake Mangum should not be playing every single day. Johnny DeLuca, ideally, should not be playing every single day, or even Palacios when he gets back. Josh Lowe is just not it. Like, this outfield, looking forward, is in a bad spot. It's in a really bad spot.
Daniel Rivera says the Rays, in spite of all this, are just 3 games out of the last wild card. This weekend in New York will say a lot about whether the Rays are a wild card team or not. But Daniel, at this point, let's establish what a wild card team is. With this many teams making the playoffs, you're the last wild card in. You're what? 4 games over 500, 7 games over 500. Who cares? You're doing nothing in the postseason.
Yeah, not a damn.
You're doing nothing in the postseason. So like that's some kind of like, oh, we got a shot. No, you don't.
And by the way, 3 seems.
I know the Rangers did what they did, but the Rangers had a real payroll with guys that make a lot of money or veteran players that were underperforming. Right. And when the lights got bright, they overperformed. That's not the case with this team. There's nobody on this team that's ever done anything in postseason.
You'll be surprised. Like 3 games seems like it's not that much, but it really is, honestly, at this point. Like you're asking a lot of teams in front of you to also like crap the bed while you go on a run. It's just not realistic because those teams are getting better and they're playing much better baseball than you have been.
Daniel says, starting tonight, we're going to really know if the Rays are true contenders or not with 4 in New York. I think we already know, Daniel, but I get your point. Mathematically, are we eliminated?
Aaron Judge left Yankees, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Which they do not play well with them out of the lineup. No. Devin Garnett says, if they invoke the best interest of baseball clause, how is he still able to call the shots? You know, Eric Neander's his guy. I think when they do that, they don't like cut off their phones. You know, I listen, I'm just throwing it out there, but none of this stuff makes sense. If you're so desperate to win, why are you putting Morel in the 2-hole and trotting Kevin Kelly out there in crucial situations? Makes 0 sense. And I could go, all the things we mentioned earlier, none of it makes any sense.
Well, Tristan Gray also played yesterday too. I'm just going to put that out there. Started.
Michael Rue says the Rays need to be sellers. Anyone over 30 on an expiring contract needs to go. Zach Littell, I love him, and I love what he brings to the clubhouse. I would try to keep him. He doesn't make that much money. Let's re-sign him.
I wanted to keep him, but at this point,
let me see what you get. I mean, I'll listen.
I was going to say, Zach Littell's value is probably not going to be any higher than it is right now. So as much as I would prefer to keep him for some of the other reasons, again, I think all bets are off.
Still re-sign him. So.
Yeah, all bets are off. He's going to be made available.
Daniel says we get Seattle 6 more times, and we don't get Texas anymore this season. So I don't know. And you don't have a lot of home games. I think the season's lost. Bring on the Bucs. When Zalewski takes over as owner, says Daniel Rivera, you had better believe he will clean house. I don't think you clean house on the baseball side.
Yeah, unless Eric Neander.
In fact, I know they don't want to do that. They want to keep Neander.
Unless Eric Neander and his side decide they want to go move on and they want a new challenge, there's no way you clean that guy out. You just don't.
Trading a first-round pick for an okay bullpen arm is a sign of an administration on its way out, says Michael LaRue.
Oh.
I don't know. Is Baker an okay arm? I think he's better than okay. I like that move. In that point of the season, I like that move. You know, the 37th player in baseball draft is not the 37th player in the football draft. The 37th player has got about a 20% chance to make it to the big leagues and about a 5% chance to be an impact player of Baker's abilities. So
yeah, at the time, the Rays weren't even on like this epic slide yet, so it made sense. By the way, I real quick, there was some breaking news that just came out here.
What's
that?
I
saw someone put it in the comments. I went and checked it because Dion is having his press conference right now with his medical team. I guess he announced that he has been seeking treatment for a bladder tumor. Doctors did remove his bladder and he has been deemed cured from the cancer, but that is the breaking news there from Deion Sanders today.
Removed his bladder?
Yes, he had a cancerous bladder tumor, but it was successfully removed.
Wow. Yeah, he looked so frail the other day. He looked really bad and had no prime energy whatsoever. It was sad to see, and now we know why. Is he going to coach this year?
It sounds like it. This is like coming out right as now, so I'm refreshing as much as I can. I'll get more on it.
Well,
But
we'll get into the
that's
break
what he
and
led with.
Yeah, we'll get into the break and we'll find out for you just exactly what's going on. Mike H says Friday losing 7-2. Why did Cash use up Useda for 2 innings? He was great, except now he wouldn't be available Saturday if the game was close. Yeah, again, there's a lot of these things that there's head scratchers that don't make any sense. Y'all forgot Cash batting Belau second when he was hitting 176. His dues this dumb crap all the time, says Replicant 777.
Yeah, there's a difference between batting Belau there earlier in the season than batting Morel there on July 26th.
Tim says, did you all say you didn't like Happy Gilmore too? I knew it. Neither of you have a soul. It was great.
I didn't say anything. What did I say? You haven't even watched the movie yet.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna probably, depending on how bad the Rays are against the Yankees tonight.
I didn't say it was bad. Not going to win an award.
Nathan Ellis says if Dean has one I don't want to tackle injury, he will be pulled. That's right. That's absolutely right. What else we got here? A lot of this about Dion. JS says, I'm also open to any time slot. If I can't make the live show, rewatch is always an option, whatever works for y'all. Yeah, that's why I like earlier better. It just gives people more time to rewatch. And we seem to get a lot of breaking news in that 10 to 12 slot, even though we're getting some right now. I don't know why that is.
Usually 10 o'clock is usually like whenever like the day starts when it comes to breaking news. So
yeah. Sergio says, I prefer your time slot to be 10, I think, to noon. Can't stand any of the other shows. There's a lot of national stuff to be on at that point. So yeah. Anything else we need to get to? A lot of this is the Dion stuff. Bucs Basement says Junior went 1 for 11 in this series. Needs more. Yandy was just as terrible. This team is probably losing at least Diaz and Belau. Rays will absolutely be sellers at the deadline. All right, we'll get to some of the other news. Thank you guys for jumping in. I really appreciate it. We're going to get to also the sound. We got some great stuff with Amecha Ibuka. You got to hear some good stuff from Bowles as well, especially on quarterback and Charlie Heck. So don't go anywhere. Quick break. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Make sure you call them. Let them shop all your insurance needs, your auto insurance. They saved me $1,000 over my 6-month premium. The last time they shopped my auto insurance around, home insurance as well. They can put you with the companies that pay out when they need to pay out. There's a lot of companies that have that issues with. Italiano will not put you with any of those companies. So much they can do for you to save you money and make sure you're fully informed. If you agree, Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Hey, JP here for the Gold and Diamond Source. And you know I'm always trying to find ways to save you money or make you money. Well, here's a great idea from Julie and Steve Weintraub at the Gold and Diamond Source. Gold is at an all-time high, so if you bring in your old jewelry, Steve and Julie will buy it off you and offer you the highest trade-in values of the year. It's the perfect time to upgrade what you're not wearing into something you'll never want to take off. So take advantage of that right now. The custom engagement rings to birthstones, tennis bracelets, diamond studs, whatever's on your wish list, the Gold and Diamond Source can make it happen. And did you know they also have the largest selection of any men's jewelry in the area?
A great new section there. Check that out. They have free services like free settings, free cleanings, free appraisals, all that stuff right there at the Gold and Diamond Source. Family owned and trusted for over 40 years. Great folks over there. We love promoting these great local companies. None better than the Gold and Diamond Source. 3800 Almerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Summer is coming. Do not get caught with your unit unprepared. Your AC unit, of course. The awesome folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC have a special going on right now. You get a free 1-year maintenance package with any purchase of a new unit. They have special 60-month financing as well, so you don't need a huge chunk up front. Third Generation has an impeccable reputation built over 30 years of doing business. They do plumbing, AC, mechanical work, anything you need around the house. They are trusted folks. Go to the website and read the 5-star reviews. Deidre said, great company that always arrives timely. We have used them for our AC both in home and business and have been very happy. The staff is knowledgeable and professional. I would recommend Third Generation again and again. So give Third Generation a call at 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we roll on this Buccaneers first day of pads Monday. Brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. We're going to have a watch party coming up Friday night for the Rays and Dodgers 5-7. Then we're going to stick around and watch the game. So please come down and join us for all the specials. And I want to watch some baseball with you guys. So all you guys in the comments, make your plans to come to Riveters, and we'll get a couple tables and watch the Rays lose again.
Oh, you're just putting it out there, aren't you?
I guess so.
They seem to play better, though. They play better against the better teams in the league, don't they?
Yeah, they typically
do. At least they used to.
Yeah, they typically do. All right, the breaking news on Deion Sanders. His medical team was there at the press conference. He is cured of his bladder cancer, so he is going to coach this year. I was perusing Twitter. There were lots of things on there, and one dude actually said, tweeted out, "You think I got it wrong with Dion?" Breaking, sources close to the program tell me Deion Sanders will be stepping down at his press conference today due to illness. Apparently, Sanders is sickened by the fact that Shedeur fell to the 5th round to the point he is bedbound and potentially terminally ill. That's bad form. Even if that is I don't like that stuff. No, I don't either. I hate it. Even if it's like a parody account and stupid stuff like that. When you're dealing with things like this, like, what are you doing, idiot?
Yeah. I did see Dion said he lost 25 pounds.
Yeah.
During this, he was very in detail about how he can't pee the same way now that he used to. Apparently, he did not tell his sons. He also apparently did not tell his sons because he wanted this not to overtake the focus of them beginning their careers. So those are the news and notes. But yes, he's going to coach this year.
And he's cancer free.
He's cancer free, which is the most important thing.
Yeah. So good to hear from Prime. And I was really worried because he did not look well the other day when he was here at camp. But good to see that and hear that. And I was listening to some stuff earlier this morning on national radio talking about Prime's impact financially to the Colorado program. They brought in $134 million in new money over the first 2 years. New money, not just money, new money. So when athletic director was asked at his press conference, how are you going to pay Dion? He said, I have no idea, but we'll figure it out. Now you know. And also the impact on the city of Boulder as well in the football games. And I don't know if you know this, but nobody went to Colorado games for the past 20 years. Nobody.
Yeah.
And now they have, not only are they full, but they had created all these different premium seating places for them. They are making money hand over fist.
Oh, they're the face of the Big 12 conference. They might not be the best team in the Big 12 conference, but Dion is the face of the conference. No doubt about it. And without him being there, who's talking about the Big 12?
And not only that, the first year the ratings were tremendous. The second year, the ratings for Colorado games were not that good. So there may be some waning to it, but those people in Colorado that do the business stuff, I bet they were smart enough to make people sign 5-year deals for their suites and everything else, just like the Bucs were when Brady came here. It's a pretty good idea. You got to commit to 5 years. Is Dion committing to 5 years? Oh, well, we don't. Well, he's under contract for that, but we'll see.
A lot of people didn't think he'd coach beyond his sons, and he's already.
Well, let's just say this. This was a pretty good reason to call it quits. I got bladder cancer, and it could be terminal. That would have been a really easy out for Dion. Let's just be honest. He didn't choose it. So
he's a competitor.
I think he deserves an attaboy for that, does he not?
He's a competitor. He's one of the most competitive players of all time, and I think he's one of the most competitive coaches you'll find too. Regardless if you disagree or agree with stuff that he says or how things are conducted over there, he cares. He landed the number one quarterback in this year's class too, who might be starting for him. He's still having success there. So Colorado's not leaving the spotlight anytime soon.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some of the sound here, and I think I can play it off here. Also, I'll get an intro it, Nick. This is Amecha Ibuka, who met with the media today, talking about his rookie camp, how it's been for him, and also the chemistry of this team. I believe just want to ask about the chemistry at Ohio State.
I think it's clear to see why we got them really disciplined guys, play the game the right way. So I think we're going to continue to get each other better. Hopefully it's over a very long period of time, and they're going to make me better. I know it. So I'm just trying to show up with my best every single day, not to short them in any way, and hopefully come the season time they can make some good plays.
Mecca, obviously you know what it is to lead a championship team and what the chemistry looks like. Is it similar here, you think?
Yeah, I think we have all the components you want, but it's hard to tell right now. You have to continue stacking days, and you have to be resilient. You have to show up when you don't want to, and you have to have tough conversations with your teammates who probably aren't up to par. So all those come when adversity strikes in the season. So it's about building a strong foundation now, so that when those storms hit, like it says in the Bible in Luke, you can face all those adversities. So we're a team who has all the right components, who has all the leadership. You look at Levante David, that's a natural born leader if I've ever seen one. So we have guys that rally behind. It's about whether we're going to buy in or not.
All right, that's all for Amecha.
The rookie corners and the chemistry on this team. This is, it's interesting that if you know anything about the Ohio State team from last year, they were very heavily, how do I say this? They were a very religiously based team.
there was an awakening that happened from a religious standpoint, a Christian standpoint, that a lot of these players talk about. And you may not know this, but it's also very palpable on this team as well. They don't talk about it a ton, not like the guys did at Ohio State, but it's there. So whatever you think about that, and I think it's a positive. I think it's a huge positive, and it's part of their chemistry. Baker is into it. A lot of these guys are into it, and Ibuka fits right in. So I think it's a positive, and I think as we've said many times, the chemistry on this team is insanely good. All right, this one is Amecha talking, I believe, about Tez and his roommate, the good and the bad.
I mean, he talks about it every day. I don't know what's up with that. Me and Tez are building a super close relationship, probably too close. He's my roommate right now, so I hear him snore every night. But it's going well. He's a dynamic athlete, super fun to watch with the ball in his hand, just like lightning in a bottle when he gets it. I think he's already made 4 or 5 defenders miss this camp, and everyone hits one of those ooh like that every time he gets the ball. So just learn how to be more creative in my route craft from watching him, and then me helping him in any way I can with whatever he might need help with. So we're kind of becoming a really close knit group, not just me and Tez, but me, Tez, and our other. He talks about it every day. I don't know what's up with that.
Screwed that up. But him talking about Tez is can you see those two? Those two to me are so different in that Mecca's so polished and so professional and in every way, where Tez is just kind of and I don't mean this in a bad way, he's kind of just a loose cannon. He just he'll say anything and do anything. He's got that kind of fancy free attitude. I love that about them both, but they're definitely two different types of personalities. And I think they complement each other really, really well.
I haven't heard much about Tez, by the way. What's his role looking like out there?
Listen, he's playing well and he makes catches. He gets open. I don't think he's going to be in a regular rotation. I think he's a little bit more of a punt returner, gimmicky type guy that they can give him like 4 to 6 touches a game, maybe. And I think he can be a great returner, but I don't think, and if a bunch of guys get hurt, can he play the slot? Can he play outside? I don't know. He's really small, but I think there's a role. I think there's a role for him on this team, but I think Cam Johnson is similar, very similar to him. And I think Cam's a little bit more polished. Now Cam's been injured the last couple of days. So I think it's those two guys are kind of the same player. And I think they love Tez and they love his upside, but I don't, he's not Ibuka. He's not Jalen McMillan. He's not a guy that I think is ever going to be a really regular rotation guy. I could be wrong, but I think he has a role. I mean, you break a couple returns, you can win a game with that special teams play. And that's huge. Postseason.
He'll be a win for me if he can just be a competent returner. That's all I'm asking for. I don't even need elite. I just need competent.
The Bucs kicking game, Chaz is sensational. He has been a weapon. Outside of that, they have sucked. Punting has sucked. The returns have sucked. Like, they're not just a specific suck. It's an all-encompassing suck, to quote the great Pete Fairbanks. Outside of Chaz McLaughlin, it has been an all-encompassing suck of special teams.
You see, too, that Camarda got released by the Bills before camp even started.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what happened there? He was supposed to be he was one of the best punters in football when he first year he was here.
Shankopotamus got in his head. I don't know.
I don't even remember who the punter is for the Bucs now. Like, you think about it, that they've signed it. It's so off my radar.
Dixon.
But
Riley
Dixon, right?
Dixon.
Yeah, there you go.
Top 5 punter in the game. That's a huge thing for them. There really is. That can win you a couple games. If your offense is not clicking, it can win you a game or two. It was a huge issue last year, more so than we know. And in the playoff game, it didn't help. That's for damn sure. So, all right, here's Ibuka talking about this. I thought this was a really cool answer. Somebody asked him about, because he's got this reputation now for being a perfectionist. Like, he's a maniacal perfectionist. I can't wait to ask Tez about this as his roommate. So this is him talking about his pursuit of perfection, where that comes from. And then I asked him about his chemistry with Baker. That's already very, very evident.
About it with my family and close friends ever since I've been growing up. I'm not entirely sure where it comes from. I would say my entire life, ever since I've been playing sports, I've never needed external motivation. My family, I joke with my dad, like he's tried to help me back in some ways, just because like he's saying, "Are you sure you need to go to training tonight? You already had 2 practices this morning." But there's just something innate in me that makes me drive and want everything just a little bit more. So I'm an overachiever and a perfectionist to that degree. But I think part of that is what has led me to get here. So just keeping that same mindset, not getting complacent, and hopefully I can hold on to that mindset and chase that for years to come.
To that end, you had a couple plays today against the blitz, and Baker hit you perfect timing on an out and the touchdown. So it feels like he already has that trust in you. You guys talk about that?
Yeah, we talk through every scenario you could imagine. So there's 1,000 outcomes that could happen over the course of a game and a specific set of plays. So you got to be ready for everything. Being a receiver is about being a problem solver. You can run a 4.2 40 and that's great, and you can jump 45-inch vertical. But if you're not a problem solver, if you can't get open and recognize coverage, those tools that you have aren't going to be able to be used. So understanding defenses, coverages, the offense, the checks, all this type of stuff is what helps people thrive at this level.
Can you talk about your relationship?
Wow. He sounds like a 7th-year pro. And talking about perfection and and those things about being a problem solver. I never heard a receiver talk about in that tone or in those words.
Does he speak like a receiver?
No, he speaks like a congressman. Except it's the truth. Yeah, he's really polished in everything he does.
Seriously though, Mike Evans, if he has diva in him, it's it's really small, right?
None.
Chris, I've never detected any.
None.
I don't detect any with Amecha Ibuka.
None.
I don't detect any with Jalen McMillan. How do you find little? But how do you find guys like this? And have
it's not an accident
together. It's it's just crazy to me. It really is.
It's completely intentional. And when we had Jason Light on the show, we really dove into that. When he said, I've missed on, it's not missing on the players, it's missing on the dude, the human. And they have fine-tuned their process to the fact that they know what they're looking for in the dude. Like, what are they made of? And Amecha, look, I know Levante David is he's the logo of what they like in the draft room. He's the guy. He's the silhouette. That's the guy that they want to draft in terms of character, dedication to the game, competitiveness, intelligence, all those things that you can't be measured in a 40 time or stopwatch. And Ibuka is going to be the next one. Mm-hmm. To be quite honest, he's going to be the next one. That's what what this dude is, and they're looking for these guys. They're captains, they're leaders, they're serious about football. I always use Deshaun Jackson as kind of the whipping boy in this, but they're just everything that guy is not. And he was not a bad person at all. Like some of these other receivers and divas that you got. But it was about him. And it's just the Ibuka is about everybody else.
Even not a receiver, running back though, which is another position that comes with being a diva sometimes. Like Bucky Irving, and I love the story with him and how he comes to the facility at 5:30 in the morning to sit with 86-year-old Tom Moore.
How cool is that?
Again, it's where do you have the team where you just have so many of these guys that are like this, all at once? It's actually crazy, but they're also all world players. When they get on the football field and they put the pads on, they're all business, but they're just genuinely down to earth guys that you don't have to worry about, when you leave the facility at night.
Well, Light told me that he said, when I asked him this, how many did you take off the draft board? He started at 20, and then he was like, actually more than that. And we're talking about in a group of because when you're talking about guys that are off the draft board, this is the top probably 4 rounds, right? Top 120, 130. And you're taking up 25% or more out. These guys are really good players. A lot of them really, really good players. But he's like, nope, no assholes or douchebags. We're not doing it. And this is what you get.
this is what you get. You get a team like this.
Every now and then I could take an asshole or a douchebag. Don't get me wrong. Every now and then I'd like one, maybe, or two, but
it's like on the crazy hot Matrix, from 10 years ago, the dude sitting at the grease board with the, crazy hot Matrix, which with women, and was like, this is a stripper up here. It's a sliding scale. You have to be if you're a Buccaneer, you have to be so freaking good in terms of your talent. If your crazy is, that far out, your talent has to be through the freaking roof. And there comes a point where, past 5 or 6 on the crazy scale, that we're not doing it, no matter how good you are. And that's rare in this league. It's very, very rare in this league. Most of them will still have a place where we'll do it. But the Bucs don't. They don't. You're out. Doesn't matter how good you are, or you're out. And I love that about this team. And I think it's the main reason that they've had sustained success. Through winning a Super Bowl, they did not have the inevitable dip that every team has to go through and rebuild that we've seen. They didn't have it because they were drafting high character guys that were going to contribute in one way or another. And that you can see it. And it's a lesson I've learned here by watching this team come together and this organization go through this metamorphosis that Light has gone through of drafting like everybody else, great athletes. We'll figure it out. That's what the coaches are for. We'll build a culture. We'll make them better. Some guys are such idiots that you can't be done, and it destroys your team because a lot of these players have idiot in them. They have asshole in them. And sometimes it's latent. They're hiding it because, they want to be professional players and they want to make money. So they smash it down and they can fake it for a while. But if you get a couple of them that are in the group, then they're like, oh, I'll go hang with that guy. Oh, I got a group over here that I can go do my asshole stuff. I can go do it over here. And then suddenly, you had a potential for, 6 or 7 of them. Now they bring them all out. Mm-hmm. They all go together. They're all out in the club Friday night. If nobody on the team is doing that, you look around and you're like, so none of y'all going to the club? None of y'all? Nope. Not during season. All right. They all conform. But if you just got a few, you'll find them. And they'll take them with them. Yeah. It's smart. It's really, really smart. All right, here's Todd Bowles talking about I believe this is the depletion on the depth at edge. Like, do we still have some depth at edge with Walker being gone? And then another moment where he praises Ibuka and his pursuit of perfection.
I thought we had a lot of depth with Walker, and there's still some spots to be had. I think we still have a lot of depth. I mean, obviously, you got Yaya, you got Nelson, you got Bradwell, and you got Hassan, and you still got Watson, you got Jose, you got a bunch of guys still fighting for that spot. So we still feel like we have some depth there.
What did you see? Amecha was a really good player. Drafted him. Amecha was a really good player. Drafted him. What did you see out here that made you learn about since he's actually there?
I don't know if anything surprised me, just how calm he is with everything, because he's so intelligent and he's very competitive. And he wants to do things right all the time. He don't have to do everything right, just play football. And he's been very good at that, and he's playing faster. And he looks like the guy we drafted. I have no complaints.
Yeah, no guy at all. It's just every day it's another wow moment with Amecha. So good stuff. All right, here's I questioned Todd about what he saw at a Charlie Heck first day in pads, and also my incessant questioning of the backup quarterback job.
Coach, first impressions, I know it's day one in pads of Charlie Heck, how he handled pass protection today. And
he's competitive. Charlie's competitive. He has very good feet. Technique's going to take some time to get down in pads. He has some good one-on-one reps. I'll be interested to go back and see the tape and see how he played with the team.
How did Hassan Reddick look to you today in the first game pads?
He looked great. I mean, he's quick, he's fast, he's very smart. He gets it. He's in great shape right now. He's in a good place.
Coach, you had injury at quarterback or whatever he's dealing with, and Trask had another rough day today. I know it's just shorts or pads today, but it's just practice. Do you feel like you need a veteran quarterback in here to get a little deeper at the position?
We've been talking about bringing in another arm. It's just bringing in the right version of that arm that we want to bring in. And it's been talked about whether it was off days or no off days, whether it's Baker, Trask, or where it didn't matter. With Pratt down, we feel like we probably need another arm, and so we're working on that.
Is it arm or is it a veteran arm?
We'll see.
When you look big picture, it's so early. How do you?
We'll see. That wasn't exactly a ringing endorsement of Kyle Trask. I think there's got to be talk. They got to be looking, right?
They probably are. Yeah, they are.
You said Tyler Huntley's out there.
Tyler Huntley, Carson Wentz, CJ Beathard are some of the options that are out there right now.
I'm not sure how I feel. Is Carson Wentz fit this model that we were just talking about? I don't know. I've heard differing things. You never know from national perspective. I mean, you hear all the bad stuff about Baker, and none of it was true.
I mean, he was backing up Mahomes. I mean, so if he fit there, it's like he should be able to fit anywhere.
Yeah. How much money? I mean, he's made a crap ton of money. He doesn't need the money.
Right. Anybody you sign at this point would be for really cheap anyway. Be really, really cheap.
Who's most like Baker of that group? Tyler Huntley? Or Carson? Beathard?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and claim that I can picture CJ Beathard playing right now in my head, but from what I recall, I feel like he has some sort of scrambling ability a little bit. I don't know.
Well, that will become evident. I think through Trask's performance in preseason, it will become evident what they're going to do. But I'm sounding the alarm early, to say the least.
Getting ahead of it.
All right, we'll take another break. We'll come back and we'll get your comments as well. We have a couple other things. We got your story on Fenway Park that I want to hear. I'm going to ask the question, why the hell can't we build a railroad in less than 10 years from Orlando to Tampa? I have thoughts on that. The Christian Wilkins story is bizarre.
Oh, we have the actual info from Schefter too.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's bizarre.
He was on
Bryce Harper and Rob Manfred evidently went at it. Bryce, you take your hands off my man, Rob Manfred. We love him here in Tampa. Keep your hands off him. All right, quick break. We're brought to you by the great folks at the Golden Diamond Source. Old has never been higher, folks. Gather up all that old jewelry, your Guido chain with the Italian horn that you had in high school. Bring it on in. It's never been worth more money. They'll give you cash, or you buy your support for your honey. And if you're just home, get up to me. They go up. Golden Diamond supposed to be the best for your old jewelry. You gotta buy a diamond. They get an engagement ring. First of all, make sure it's real and not fake. And way to start your relationship. But no other place to go but Golden Diamond. Just for those great companies that we love, it's Golden Diamond. There's 2,800 women that goes online. It's Golden Diamond. I can freak. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Going through a medical emergency without health care insurance can cause you to go into crippling debt. In most scenarios, people are forced to either break into their retirement funds or worse, they're forced to file for bankruptcy. The sad truth is that health care insurance is crucial in today's day and age. Look, I get it. Many of you think you're never going to get sick and health insurance is really expensive. Well,
We can help you out with that. Depending on your income, we can find great plans and huge discounts. God forbid you get cancer, a car accident. It could literally ruin you financially for life. So make the call and find out. Even though the open enrollment period is over, you may have some qualifying life events that can help you get covered right away. It can be very complicated, a very intimidating process, but we can help. Go to our website and check out all the 5-star reviews about our helpful agents. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go! Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Third Generation Plumbing and AC. They do it all. Right over there. So if you have any issues in this record heat with your air conditioner and just can't keep up, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They do AC. They do a great job with it. We've used them many, many times. So go check out all the 5-star reviews at their website and tell them JP sent you. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They also do great AC work. John Rodriguez is the owner there. Great dude. I'll give you a fair shake, let you know what's going on. All right. So let me get to the last of the comments here. Brandy Wines. Wow, she says she loves the show so much. Hello, Brandy. Good to see you. Rick says, without Dion, where would Sapp get a job? He can be a mediator between hookers and Johns. And
I'm sorry?
Could be a mediator, you know, when the price isn't right and he wants to bargain with the hooker. You never heard that story?
I don't even know where this is coming from, but
that's how he lost his job at the NFL Network.
I think I was a little young for that. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Look it up. Fun story. Do not bargain with your hooker. Can lead to bad things. Cleveland Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase has been placed on non-disciplinary paid leave as part of MLB's sports betting investigation.
Yeah, this is
Jeff Passan. Wow.
It's big because his teammate Luis Ortiz was put on that, if you recall, earlier this month. So, yeah, it sounds like this might be obviously bigger than just one guy going rogue here, and obviously they're both on the same team. But this actually is very interesting because Emmanuel Clase, I'm sure everybody knows, follows baseball, is one of the best closers in the game, and he has been made available for trade and been in a lot of trade discussions and rumors and whatnot. And with him now off the market, that might make Pete Fairbanks' price even better for the Rays if you're interested in trading him, because Pete Fairbanks now, with him off the market, becomes, again, maybe the top closer or one of the other top couple closers available on the market now.
I love Fairbanks. Love him as
you
the
love
best
his interview.
I love the dude. Love the interviews. He's not elite, but he's the best we got.
He's the best they got, but doesn't he? There's always part of you that scares you when he's in the game.
Yes.
It always is there. It never feels clean. Can't pitch in cold weather. I don't know. Again, if his value is through the roof, you have to look at it. You have to look at it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to lose him, but what are you offering me? You offer me a power hitting outfielder? Yes, please. But he better be damn good, and he better be major league ready. To your point, I don't need any AAA guys. I need some guys that have done it. And for the closer that's done it, I need some guys that have hit home runs in the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
Fair?
Yes, that's fair.
Denver Harden says Bucs are second to none when it comes to drafting good dudes. They have cornered the market, and it really helps. All right. So the Christian Wilkins story, evidently Adam Schefter is reporting. According to my sources.
He was on McAfee's show here about 30 minutes ago. He said that Christian Wilkins playfully went to kiss a teammate on top of his head. That player took offense to it, and that is what everybody has been, as Schefter said, dancing around. That is the apparent incident.
Now, alone, that doesn't ring true, right? Like, if that's the only thing that he did, so we have to be very careful about this, but you can go look it up on Twitter. Just search Christian Wilkins. He's done some really weird things. On and off the field. Like, and this is what it was described by a teammate, is like, he did something weird and it was really weird. And I'm just going to, it's probably not the first time some of this stuff has happened, but this is weird. All right. So Bryce Harper went nose to nose with Rob Manfred in the clubhouse. As he came into the clubhouse, he basically said, if you're going to talk about a salary cap, get the F out of our clubhouse. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I get it, Bryce. I get it. You're going to be the big bad dude, support your players, blah, blah, blah. You need to take a step back. First of all, Rob Manfred is our guy here in Tampa Bay. He's keeping our team here, and he forced Stu to sell. So we love Rob Manfred.
Hey,
we
Rob
Manfred.
Rob Manfred gave it back to him, though. Nick Castellano said that Rob Manfred responded back, he's not going to get the F out of here. And I guess him and Harper, according to Castellanos, it got pretty intense between him and Harper going back and forth, and they had to settle. They had to cool Bryce Harper down and everything for a little bit over the salary cap thing. But
here's the deal, Bryce. Your sport is dying. And one of the reasons your sport is dying is because you don't have a equitable playing field for all teams. It's not a level playing field. There's too much money at the top and far too much money at the bottom. And this is a growing trend. Owners are going to do exactly what Stu has been doing for years and years. Stu's figured out a lot of things in baseball that a lot of you dumb owners haven't figured out. And one of them is how to make a shit ton of money and appearing to be competitive and appearing to be competitive when you really aren't. And I mean that in terms of chasing a championship. We've talked about this ad nauseum. You need a salary cap and you need a salary floor. And you can have almost more money in baseball, because if your sport becomes more popular, because all markets feel like they're going to be competitive at one point or another, like it does in the NFL, like it's starting to do in the NBA, like having all teams with a fair chance to win brings 30, 32 markets into it instead of 7 or 8. And when everybody's winning and everybody's filling their park, guess what? You make more money, Bryce Harper. You make more money. And if all these teams that are spending 60, 80, 70 million, like the Rays are, when their revenues are well over $300 million, I was going over this with Jim Williams the other day, the national columnist, 7-time Emmy Award winner. We were talking about the business of baseball. Every team gets well over 100 million in central fund money. And that's from MLB.com, MLB Network, merchandising. All those things are under the entire umbrella. Every team gets an equal share, mostly equal share, and that's central fund money, and it's well over $100 million. Then the Rays get revenue sharing dollars, which are over, if your revenues are lower on the lower end, which the Rays are purposefully for a lot because they don't spend money on marketing, then you get $60 million there. And then you have local TV revenue that averages about 65 million. The Rays were getting 85 million. So before you sell a single sponsorship, before you do anything on radio, any signage, any name sponsorships on your stadium, naming rights, any of that stuff, the Rays are well into $220 million. And you're spending $70, $80 million on payroll. These guys are pocketing all that money that should be going to the players. But if you have a salary floor where everybody's got to spend 150, which is where it should be, then everybody makes more money, Bryce, not just you, which is the way it is now. The salaries are way too high at the top and way too low at the bottom. Not only is it for teams, but for the players as well. And the Players Association is run by all the veterans who don't care about the guys at the lower level. But you need to, Bryce Harper, calling you out, taking on my man, Rob Manfred.
I mean, I would much rather go for the salary floor than the salary cap. I want to see some other team owners sort of commit to spending, because I feel like that's what's part of the problem right now is everybody wants to take a run at the Mets, and they want to take a run at the Dodgers and the Phillies and all these teams for spending all this money. Like the fans of those teams have to be elated that their owner is willing to do whatever it takes.
Thank you.
To build a championship winning ball club. And some of these other teams are not even willing to do it. And in fact, I looked at it right now. I pulled it up. In terms of active payroll, right now you have 11 teams whose active payroll is under 100 million. That's not total payroll. That's just active payroll. If you did total payroll, 5 teams are below. By the way, kind of interesting. The Rays' active payroll right now is 45 million, which is the second lowest in baseball. That's actually half of what their total payroll is. Half of their payroll is actually not even playing right now, which is crazy to think about.
And when you're at the lower end of it, like 80, 90 million, when you lose half of it, you're done. You're toast. You got no depth. I mean, you can fake it. Like everybody's, we're at 2 yards. I mean, you're 2 games out of a wild card, and the last 2 wild card spots mean nothing. For the most part. Where are you in terms of chasing a championship? Not even effing close.
Not close right now. And
No.
but all this tells me though is, unfortunately, like the collective bargaining agreement expires on December 1st, 2026, which is going to be here before you know it. And all this tells me is the players and Major League Baseball seem to be very split on issues again. And is this going to end up being one of these work stoppages things again, like we had 4 years ago? Where we missed games. We started the season late, if you recall. Are we going to do this again?
Well,
It's always baseball that has these issues.
If this is any indication of where we're at, it's not good.
No.
And I think it is an indication. But the story that I just told has to be told to the rank and file, because the Major League Baseball Players Association, they're not going to be telling that story to the players. They're going to say, Tony Clark's going to say, under no circumstances are we ever going to have a salary cap. Blah, 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 blah. That's dumb. Why would you not trade a salary cap for a salary floor? If the total dollars are more to the players, the only reason is because the Bryce Harpers of the world are selfish. If you want the game to be better and to offer all the players to collectively make more money, salary floor should you would trade a salary floor for a salary cap because you can set what the cap is, right? What if the cap's 700 million? Still don't want a cap? It's ridiculous. Let's do some numbers. What you ought to be talking about is equal share of revenues. Like this is where the NFL goes. We want 53% of all revenues. I wonder what baseball, I don't even know what the number is, but my guess is now baseball players as a union are probably making 30% of all baseball revenues. Maybe 40, but certainly not 53. I could be wrong. But it's hard to tell because I don't know if the NFL or the MLBPA puts those numbers out. What is total payroll compared to, I mean, baseball as a game makes, I think the last I saw was $12 billion. Almost rivals what the NFL makes. So I don't know. You better think that over and get a little dive a little bit deeper into what it means for all players, not just you.
Yeah, and I guess it depends how much of a share too, like of the revenue, like the MLBPA gets from this stuff. And you had mentioned like the NFL doesn't make it available, but like we had the thing last week rather, where the Packers had to reveal their stuff because they're the only team that's publicly owned, and they got $432.6 million in national revenue last year from the NFL. So multiply by that, and that's $13.8 billion that was distributed to 32 teams. And I can't imagine it's like that for baseball.
No, not even close. But it's a lot of money. It's still a lot of money. Michael LaRue says MLBPA gets less of the revenue pie than the NFL, NHL, and NBA. That's what I thought. So that's where you ought to be looking. Don't be, so entrenched that you won't have a salary cap because, and plus you could grow revenues. Again, if 30 to 32 teams, if you're expanding and you want every market to be involved, that means more attendance. If more fan bases feel like they're in it, then you're going to pack the parks for the first half of the season, as opposed to so many seasons like, the Rays are a perfect example, and we're contenders. But for all across baseball, especially this year, you saw a lot of half-empty parks, 2/3 empty parks, because, in Pittsburgh and other places like that, they know they got no shot to win before they even start. So think of it a little bit deeper. All right, last thing for me. I don't know if you got anything else you want to get to, Nick, but so I read, yes, go ahead.
No, after this, I'll wrap up my story.
Real quick. Real quick. So I read the other day, Brightline is, they just asked for $400 million in bonds. It's a privately held company, by the way, not the Amtrak, but they're doing the Miami to Orlando thing, and that's losing money, like $36 million a year. I think they're losing, but they've been talking about forever, like going back to the 70s, doing, a monorail or some type of train down I-4, all that. And we still can't get it built. It's still not built. Like this was passed. Rick Scott screwed it up many, many years ago when we as voters passed it. But even now they're saying, when could it be finished? 10 years? You're telling me from right now, it takes 10 years to build 75 miles of railroad track or monorail track? That's how bad we are in this country. And we're doing this huge I-4 thing I pass every day. And we're not thinking about what's next. Why shouldn't we be building this along while we're widening the roads and having all the construction equipment there? Shouldn't we also be putting in the railroad tracks if we're going to do it down the middle of I-4? That's just the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. How stupid and how dumb of a country have we become? And how bad are we at build? They build these rail things in China like every 2 years. They're building gazillion miles of high-speed rail track. We can't do that shit here. I knew they have slave labor. I get it. But we can't. It's just 10 years? All right, sorry. That's my public transportation rant for the day. All right, go ahead, Nick. Finish it out on a positive note.
Is this a positive? I went to Boston last week, and for the first time, and of course, I wanted to see Fenway Park. Very, very unfortunate.
Did you take the L? Did you take the train?
I only went anywhere on the train, actually.
Yeah,
exactly. It's the only way I got around. And by the way, amazing system. Their train, I don't understand how it works, but it was great. Yeah. But little unfortunate. The weekend I went, the Red Sox were not in town. The weekend before they played the Rays, the weekend after they played the Dodgers. So somewhere along the way, I need to plan a little better. But nonetheless, I took the tour, and I was very excited about the tour itself because I just wanted to see Fenway. And as I got in there, I'm walking up the steps, and I'm imagining this like some great moment where I'm going to walk. It was a beautiful day, and I'm going to walk up these steps and see Fenway Park, and I'm just going to be like, a ballpark. Because I just haven't seen any other ballparks besides the Trop in Miami. And I walk up the steps, and the first thing I see is a big sound stage in center field. And I see all of Fenway Park, the field covered with a white tarp and chairs everywhere.
Oh.
And I immediately just like was deflated. Because it's Fenway Park still, but when you can't, the field's covered and there's a sound stage, it's not the same. It's just not the same, and it takes away from the experience. And right away, I'm like just asking around. I'm like, can I get a refund? Can I get a refund? Like, what is this?
I want to see some green grass.
Yeah, exactly. Take my picture and everything, right there with the sound stage behind it. And then they wanted me to buy it for $50 afterwards, which was a joke. And then we go with the tour, and we have this older gentleman had been working for the Red Sox since 1952. I mean, just classic old gentleman. He's doing the tour. He's talking about Babe Ruth in 1910 or whatever. And all of a sudden, loud noise from the soundstage. It's Thomas Rhett, who's having a concert there that night. And he decides during the tour, he wants to do his sound check. And so now I can't hear that. No, not lucky me. Not lucky me. I do not like Thomas Rhett whatsoever. And the fact that it was him of all people that was interrupting my tour, my Fenway Park tour, supposed to be my moment, and I'm interrupted by Thomas freaking Rhett doing sound check in center field. Are you freaking kidding me? I literally was just sitting in my chair, and I'm just like defeated that I came all the way to Boston to see Fenway Park, and this was the experience that I got. Shameful. So absolutely shameful. I should have had a disclosure or something before I paid money to go see that ballpark, because I didn't feel like I got my money's worth whatsoever. And some people around me were like, oh, this is great. We're getting a free concert. No, it's not great. I want to see the ballpark. I want to smell the grass. I want to see it.
You would do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Horrible.
Well,
absolutely horrible.
You got cheated. I got cheated.
Yeah. Now I got to go back. And now I have to go. And I'm only going for a game next time. I'm not messing around with the tour.
My first and only time at Fenway Park, we walked up right behind home plate, and it was the Yankees and Red Sox, and the place was packed, and you see the Green Monster, and I got a hot dog and a beer in my hand. I'm like, this is baseball nirvana. I just stood there until some usher went, hey, buddy, get to your seat. I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks, man, appreciate it. Yeah. Now I watched some guy slide naked into third base head first. Told that story many times. One of the greatest stories of all time. All right. Thank you guys for joining.
They did take us, though, to the Monster, and we got to sit there for a little bit. And it's not as high up as you think. If you haven't been out there, it's not as high as you think, honestly. 37 feet. It doesn't really look like it'd be that hard to hit a home run there, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. No, it seems really close to home plate, doesn't it? Like really close.
But there you go.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you. Don't forget to vote in our poll on YouTube what time you want the show to be when we go back after camp to our regular time, if we ever do. You voting for 10 to 12, 11 to 1, 2 to 2. Those are your three options. And you can always put it in the chat as well. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. It's a night practice, but we'll have plenty of Bucs coverage for you tomorrow.